Hi! Hello, and welcome to the Daily Almanac for January 22nd. So, let's get started. This day in history! On this day in history, January 22nd, 1939, the uranium atom was split for the first time at Columbia University in New York City. Thus began the Manhattan Project, leading to the construction of the atom bomb. Also, on this day in 1997, Lottie Williams was reportedly the first human to be struck by a piece of a space vehicle after it re-entered the Earth's atmosphere. While walking in Tulsa, Oklahoma, she saw a light pass over her head. It looked like a meteor, she said, and minutes later, she was hit on the shoulder by a 6-inch piece of blackened metal material. The metal fragment came from a rocket that had been used to put a satellite into orbit for the U.S. Air Force in 1996. And on the very same day in 1997, Madeleine Albright was approved by the Senate as the nation's first female Secretary of State. She was nominated by President Bill Clinton. Today on Word Power, we're going to talk about end marks. End marks are the punctuation marks that you find at the end of a sentence. A question mark, period, and exclamation point are all examples of end marks. It's important to use the right end mark so that the reader will understand what you mean. You can turn the sentence, "I have the same bike," into a question. I have the same bike? Just by adding a question mark. You could also turn it into an exclamation. I have the same bike! By adding an exclamation point to the end.
Ooh, extremes.
Today on Extremes, we ask, what is the tallest mountain in Africa? The answer is Mount Kilimanjaro, which is 19,563 feet tall, or 5,963 meters. Mount Kilimanjaro is an inactive stratovolcano, and it sits alone on the flat, open landscape of northern Tanzania. At its base live elephants, zebras, and lions. It's one of the least difficult of the massive mountains on Earth to climb. In fact, many say that all you need is the right clothing, a walking stick, and a determined mind to get to its summit.
Health tips.
The moment someone gets a broken bone, which is called a fracture, the bone begins to heal itself. But if you get a fracture, you can help the healing process along by keeping in mind these suggestions. Number 1, eat well. Your body uses the nutrients in food for healing. 2, avoid places and situations where you could fall and get re-injured. 3, bones lose a lot of water when they're broken, so drink plenty of liquids to replace the loss. And 4, you can aid the healing process, but you can't rush it. So be patient and don't use the broken part before it's fully healed. Do you have a baby brother or sister, or maybe a little cousin? Have you ever helped change his or her diaper? If your family is like most American families, you use plastic diapers for the baby. Plastic diapers are easy because you can just throw them away after the baby has used them. The problem with that is that their waste doesn't get flushed down the toilet and sent to a water treatment center. Instead, it sits in the dump and can leak into the soil and drinking water. There are all sorts of diseases that are passed along by human waste, which can get into the soil and water too. So what can you do? Ask your parents to use cloth diapers instead of plastic diapers. When you use cloth diapers, you wash the waste into the toilet so they can be properly treated at the water treatment center. Well, that's all the time we have left today for Daily Almanac. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you tomorrow.